It's because I'm fucking this girl.
Kick back, guys. JB, it's 2021. What's the damn name of the podcast?
Nigga, it's the same name as it's always been. It's a pod named Kickback. A pod named Kickback. It's like a Tribe Called Quest.
You say the whole thing. Welcome to the first episode of 2021 for a pod named Kickback, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm No Breaks New, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I'll catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Every Monday, we right back at it. I am the Black Savage.
What up, y'all? What up? It's JB Frank. I'm that gangster geek coming at you every goddamn week, every goddamn Monday. Always representing NWA, Nerds with Attitude. Happy Shmonday, everybody. Welcome back to the Kickback. Happy New Year. It's 2021, dude.
Goddamn, 2021. Let me tell you, 21. Nigga, I ain't gonna lie to you. There were a few moments in 2020 that I wasn't sure I was gonna make it to 2021.
Yeah.
In April, when I had that bad sinus shit, I was like, oh, this got to be COVID. My nose so stopped up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, am I gonna make it to my birthday? I really, y'all know my hypochondriac already. So I was really like, yo, just give me to my birthday. And then I made it, and I was like, oh, shit, am I going to get through the summer? And then I got kind of comfortable, kind of cool, pretty confident in the people we were around and wearing the mask and all that. And then at the end of the year, I was like, when we made these shirts, the I Survived 2020 shirts, I was like, well, damn, am I going to be able to wear one?
Yeah, don't count your chickens.
Exactly. And I didn't wear this shirt until New Year's Eve. Like, this is my New Year's Eve shirt.
Right.
Because I was like, no. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. And because it was only about 2 weeks left in the year when I lost my aunt. So, yeah, nothing is promised, man. And I wanted to send a shout out to my family. Love y'all.
Absolutely.
JB's family, love y'all too.
Absolutely.
All of our extended families. And I'm happy to say that the majority of our families were able to get through this 2020 without, the massive losses that some families had.
Yeah.
Where everybody went to Thanksgiving dinner and 10, 15 people died. But I know you had some losses in 2020 as well.
Yeah, I lost some family in 2020. These weren't losses due to COVID, but losses are still losses. That doesn't change the facts at all. They were extremely tough. A lot of people are in that same boat that I am, News. So really, I count myself as blessed. Blessed for my family that people were able to maintain livelihoods in 2020. People were able to maintain health. These are very serious blessings. And so I have nothing but, thankfulness and optimism going into 2021 because we survived, as you said.
We survived 2020, y'all. And in 2021 on the Kickback, we want to give you guys some extra things, some little nuggets that we have, information. So go ahead, JB, timestamp that. I've been, taking different vitamins and nutrients and minerals, everything they tell you to get. Go get your sea moss, get your vitamin D3. Make sure you get your elderberry with the zinc. But I've been going through a black-owned company, Pharmacy for Life, which is by Styles P of the Locks. Think All About the Benjamins. Think Money, Power, Respect. Think Gangsta and the Gentleman. And his wife, Ajua Styles. And I've been buying their products. I'm anemic, so they came out with an Iron It Out pill solution, which would boost your the iron levels in your body, and which ultimately would give you energy. If you know anybody who's anemic, we're tired, a little sluggish, and don't have as much energy. I didn't even know that I was tired or that I didn't have energy until I took the pills. You know how like if you need glasses but you don't wear them and you can see,
Right.
and then you put on glasses like, oh shit, I can really see now.
Yeah.
That's what the iron pills did for me. It was like, oh shit, I really have energy now. And of course the sea moss, your bladder rack, the elderberry with zinc I just ordered. It'll be here any day now. The sour sop leaf, I got the ghost bundle for those that don't know. And then I added the Iron It Out in addition, and elderberry with zinc in addition to the Ghost Bundle. But black seed oil, I always tease everybody and say it tastes like pencil shavings. If you can imagine sharpening a pencil and then smelling that shit, that's what black seed oil tastes like. We've had people taste it on the show just so we can show you. But I'm a big fan of this. Their healthiness, their health consciousness, and I'm on my game. Just wanted to share that with you. The company is Pharmacy for Life, pharmacy with an F. And it's black owned. And they'll get you the vitamins, nutrients. I just ordered the vitamins B, C, and D tablets. I give it the kickback stamp, JB.
Yeah, vitamins, nutritional herbs, nutritional supplements, brain food health, energizers, immuno boosters. They've got the documentation there to let you know what healthful benefits are available for each product. So pick a mixed bag, pick a goodie bag for yourself and get on that, because it's about staying healthy and staying right in 2020, so we can continue to survive.
2021.
Sorry, yeah, 2021. Yeah, I ain't got it.
You got used to it. Yeah. I almost typed 2020 today on Facebook. Also, I ordered the elderberry with zinc because it's the quote-unquote COVID killer, and I'm keeping that in my medicine cabinet just in case, God forbid, any of us get it. We will have that. And I'm just keeping it in my cabinet, and whoever, hopefully nobody, but if it's ever needed, we got it. Just want to shout them out. I talked to them over the week. I had an issue with my order. They fixed everything, made it beautiful. You guys are great. You guys are amazing. And thank you for what you're doing for the black community. Hip-hop healthy, baby.
No doubt.
Having said that, and I wasn't an ad. I just love the products.
Real talk.
But we do have a sponsor. So shout out to Mo's Marvelous Cleaning. Mo's Marvelous Cleaning, they clean my apartment, JB's. Keep us fresh when the ladies come through and look nice and clean. I'm like, oh, a woman lives here? Like, nah, baby, it's just me and Mo's Marvelous Cleaning. Ain't no ladies here, well, except for Mo. But shout out to Mo and Mo's Marvelous Cleaning. Just real quick, she lost her job during the pandemic, as many of you have, and she started a business. Now she's cleaning homes all over Atlanta, and she's an entrepreneur, and she's making more money than she did at her job. How about that?
Yeah, got to support the black business.
So if you're in Atlanta, hit up Mo's Marvelous Cleaning. Do a Google search, a Facebook search, M-O''S, Marvelous Cleaning, and holler at her so we can keep getting these great rates on cleaning up behind two junky-ass men. So, how about that?
No doubt.
JB, I think this is I think you should read the Kickback Factor of the week. Because this is one of those things.
I already got it.
No, read it.
I read it earlier.
No, read it to them.
I am. I'm
Okay.
about to explain.
I thought you were about to freestyle it.
Oh, no.
I want you to read it.
Oh, I was okay. So Saturn and Jupiter are gas giant planets that produce a truly unique form of weather. Recently, scientists discovered that there is a plenty of carbon in these atmospheres. When carbon soot gets hit by lightning, it hardens into graphite and falls downward. Graphite falling downward. I'm repeating that. Where the pressure of the atmosphere hardens it further until it becomes a diamond. Storms on these planets may literally rain diamonds as big as a centimeter across. So it's raining ice. It's raining ice on Jupiter and Saturn sometimes that's that big. Given their gravitational pull, they have a much greater atmospheric pressure, plus the gases provide a much greater atmospheric pressure. That atmosphere is rich in carbon. So when the lightning electrifies those carbon molecules, it causes them to line up, because graphite is basically an alignment of solid carbon molecules. So it causes these carbon molecules to line up into graphite. Graphite is a less refined, less hardened form of diamond, because diamonds, again, are just carbon. So when you apply more pressure to that carbon as it enters the lower atmosphere, the pressure hardens and densifies it further, pressures that graphite and turns it into literal diamonds that fall out of the sky. Diamonds from the sky. You know what
Riri, shout out Riri. That's crazy.
Young.
What y'all think about that, man? On Jupiter and Saturn, it literally rains diamonds. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
A lot of fun. It is. It is.
A lot of fun.
And my left stroke just went viral. Our viral story of the week are the stimulus checks and the Senate runoff in Georgia. Let's start with the money. I got an email from Navy Federal, and they said, Mr. Newman, Mr. Righteous Ratchet, your stimulus money is on its way. You check back on January 1st, and you will have your $600. I said, oh, shit. I don't know what I'm going to buy. I'm going to go buy me some Pharmacy for Life, vitamins and minerals, and do some other things. And then on December 31st, New Year's Day, I got up, went to work because I had to work. I'm off until Wednesday, by the way, but I had to go to work that day. And on my way to work, let me check and just, make sure, see what I got in this account. I got a couple things I need to do when I get off. I have an extra $600. Well, what do you know about that? So I got my stimulus money on New Year's Eve in 2020. So I went into 2021. You know how much money was in my account? $600.20. I'm a baller.
Well, that's a wonderful thing, and again, this is government doing what it's supposed to do, functioning the way it is supposed to. Here's what happened. As we know, Trump vetoed the bill because he wanted $2,000 in the bill, even though we know that, $2,000 was going to be a long shot because of what the Republicans were doing. So a lot of people argue that he sent it back to basically set it up so the Republicans can fuck it up on the denial.
Technically, he didn't veto it. He threatened to do it. And then he just said, never mind. He said, I'm going to veto this shit if y'all make it 2,000. And never mind, fuck it. I'll let it go. And then, so he never actually vetoed it. But when he let it go, the Republicans, he strongly suggested that they better make it 2,000. And then they rejected that. And then when it went through, now they're still voting on the extra $1,400. But they sent out $600 immediately to try to help Americans. But they're still voting, so we may get that additional $1,400 at some point. I know some of you don't have your $600 yet. I don't know why. I was like the last nigga to get the $1,200, but I was like the first nigga to get the $600. I don't have the answer.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's calling it stimulus is a misnomer because it's not stimulus, because we're not trying to make the economy better. We're trying to revive the economy. We're trying to save the economy. Like, they're trying to put food on motherfuckers' tables and make it so that motherfuckers have, like you said, $600.20 in a bank account.
You should say 21. I fucked the joke up.
But I mean, real talk though, this is money that is well needed at this point. So, shout out to the government for making that happen. Let's see if they can make more things happen for us right now.
And we would have that $1,400 additional dollars to $2,000 total if we had control of the Senate. And that's why this Tuesday, the 5th, my mother's birthday, rest in peace, Ma, peace and blessings upon you. Love you, Stephanie Ann Dawson. January 5th, get your asses, Georgia, to the polls and vote. And I'm not like those, or we're not like those other shows where it's like, vote for who you think is right.
Nah.
No, vote Warnock and Ossoff.
No question.
That's how you vote. If you're confused, Warnock is the black reverend. Ossoff is the young white guy who has big ideas about social justice.
Both of them are Democrats.
Yeah, both of them are Democrats.
Vote Democrat down the. Trust me on like this is not a time for you to equivocate and quote vote your stupid ass, folk ass, non-woke, Facebook watching ass conscience. Fuck Facebook. Fuck your conscience. Listen to us. Vote Democrat. Vote Arnold, Ossoff, and Warnock. Period.
And vote black men for the, I think it's a city council.
Yeah,
I actually know a young lady who knows him. Well, we know a young lady who knows him. And we were able to kind of dig into his campaign and see what he's about. He's a good guy.
He is indeed a good
black
guy.
Man. Black
He is
M-O-N.
indeed a good guy.
And his name is Blackmon. He's a black man. Okay, bad joke.
If you haven't voted already, do expect some lines out there The last date for early voting was December 30th, the date on which New and I voted.
Yep.
We live in, quote, suburbs, and those of you who are really woke, y'all know what that means. We not used to standing in line to vote where we live. I was standing in line with a bunch of white people new to vote.
Me
I
too.
stood in line for 90 minutes.
It was
nigga.
white people with tank tops and shorts on, and it was fucking 40 degrees. I was like, yo, I had a sweater and a jacket on, and was still like, bruh. And I'm looking, I'm like, no, you're shivering. But I guess once you get in line, you're like, fuck that shit, I ain't getting out.
That's
But I was
exactly what
like,
it
did you
was.
not look at the weather today? Like, why are you
No,
dressed
they
like
did not.
this?
No,
You
they
know, white
did
people
not.
be wilding.
I didn't either. I didn't look at the weather, but I'm not white, so I wasn't caught out there with shorts and shit on. I had on a T-shirt and a pullover over top of that shit. Nigga, I was out there. Plus, I had to piss, too. So I'm out there doing the pee-pee, staying alive dance. I got
Staying
piss,
alive.
and I'm staying alive. Staying
alive.
alive.
No,
Generating body.
Staying dry. Staying dry.
Nigga,
Hey,
it was...
the funny part about that, JB, is as soon as I pulled up to the poll, I just took a piss behind the Publix. I just was like, I see the line. I know my bladder. I'm old. I'm going and take this piss. And it's funny that I did that as soon as I got there and you got caught in line because I was afraid of getting caught in line.
I should have done it. I was like, there's got to be like a Jiffy. I was like, there's got to be something down there where I can take a piss.
The nigga that got to go into a bathroom. I don't want to disrespect the property. JB be like, I'm pissing right here.
Yeah.
In the middle of this golf course, this whatever. JB don't give a fuck.
You
so I was like,
goddamn
damn, nigga, I would have thought you would have been the one.
Nigga, I would have pissed right in front of my car if I knew it was that deep. But all them white people out there, I didn't want to get arrested and shit. I was like, it's gonna be some poll watchers out here looking for a motherfucker, looking for a way to get a nigga out of line. Hey, he pissing. That's a decent exposure. You can't vote.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
So I was like, let me find a real bathroom so the police won't take me away. I didn't find a bathroom. I stood and did the pee-pee dance for 90 minutes, which is like
Jesus.
amazing for me, new, because I can't get through a fucking show, you know?
Right.
So,
I can't. I have to take a piss when I leave before I go to work and before I leave the office. I can't fuck around with traffic.
No,
I can't do it.
No, me neither, nigga. And so that line was a beast. I got through it. I got my sticker. I got my vote in. It's not that hard, y'all, and it's so important. That's why you're probably getting 15 texts a day like I am reminding you to vote, because it's that real. So make sure you get out there on Tuesday if you have not done so already. If you have done so, we'd love to see your comments in the line on YouTube and on our other outlets letting us know that you handled that for us. Thank you, and do what the fuck we say. I'm going to leave it at that.
Warnock, Ossoff, Blackman.
Boom.
All right, boom. Let's do a quick 2020 review. Timestamp that. That's our new slang, because we got some things coming for y'all kickbackers. So I'm going to try to take you through a timeline of 2020. It is really hard to do, so we're going to jump around a little bit. We don't want to spend the entire show doing this, but we want to acknowledge we could. Wanted to acknowledge the year. And shout out to Uncle Murder and shout out to Mad Skills for their year-end wrap-ups. Did you hear either one of those this year? I texted to you. You should check it out.
I'll check it out.
Uncle, they both did a really good job. Mad Skills, at the end of his, he said, I forget the exact lyric, but maybe this is something you didn't expect. This song was 8 minutes and 46 seconds, but that's the same amount of time that cop had his knee on George Floyd's neck. And I was like, damn.
Yeah,
I've been listening to this song for a long-ass time.
Very serious.
And he kind of painted the picture. Like, you know how long this song is? That's how long that man's knee was on his neck. And to make you just go like, we ain't letting that go.
Right.
We will get justice for George Floyd.
You got
we will.
damn right.
And Uncle Murder, he does the better version to me. It's always entertaining, always funny. But he said this is his last wrap-up. He not doing it no more. Now, that could be publicity, you know, but he said it, and he kept referencing, I ain't want to do this shit this year. This year been so fucked up, I ain't want to do it.
I can understand
Throughout the
that.
entire song, like every 18th bar, he like, nigga, I ain't want to do this. And his song was like 12 minutes long.
Yeah.
But he was like, I ain't want to do this shit. I ain't want to do this shit.
Speaking of what we was talking about before about the pee and keep going, because
Oh, see, but JB in line with the white people, he could hold it. When he standing next to me, a nigga, he got to go to the bathroom. See? But you know what? That was more important because you had to vote. That's more important. Not that you kickbackers are not important. You guys are important. Make sure you vote. And I'll start this with our 2020 review, and I'll start with Kobe, and I give JB enough time to get back out here. So I was sick. I had the flu, or maybe a mild version of COVID in January, and I was off work, laying in my bed. I had called JB, asked him what should I take. I went and bought tea. I bought Lysol. I bought everything because we do the podcast. I didn't want to get him sick. And that's why I had Lysol when the pandemic first hit, because I got sick, and JB told me, get the tea, get to this, get to that, and I got some Lysol. So I'm in the bed sick, watching Kobe's funeral, crying like a fucking baby. And the very next day, I felt better, of course. I went back to work. But this section that we're talking about is Kobe. We lost Kobe and Gianna Bryant this year. And that shit was devastating. Yeah. I was driving around, and I got a text. No, I got an alert that said Kobe Bryant was on a helicopter that crashed. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like people live from a helicopter crash. Right. What's going on? And I didn't know if it was him, his entire family. I didn't know if it was him and other NBA players. I didn't know where they were going. I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was they saying Kobe did. I texted our group chat, texted 5. What's going on? You see Kobe? You see the ship with Kobe? You see the ship with Kobe? I'm texting all my sports fans, sports friends. I'm like, what's going on with Kobe? What's going on with Kobe? And it slowly but surely, everybody started texting back like Kobe died. I pulled over on the side of the road and had to sit there and go through all my group chats and process it. It was on the Sunday, the day of our podcast that we record. Sunday, Monday. And we had Drea, who's been on the show a few times, supposed to be our special guest that day. And by the time I got home and kind of processed everything, it was just like, fuck the show. We did it, but I know our hearts wasn't in it.
It was a fucked up day.
It was a fucked up day. JB, take us back to, I'll close with this. I was heartbroken. In Kobe's early years, I was a fan. In those middle years with the drama with Shaq, I stopped being a fan and started disliking him. And then I kind of understood this point where, like, damn, Shaq, come to the camp in shape. We, if you get your shit together, we can win more. And if you're not, then I want you off the team. Well, I want to go. So I started to understand Kobe a little more. And then I started to have a real love for Kobe to the point where he retired, I loved him. And I was like, he scored the 60. I was smiling ear to ear, and he became one of my favorites in his post-career as well. So I was hurt when I found out. I didn't cry immediately, but I did cry watching the funeral. JB, take us back to when you found out and then the process moving forward for you.
I tend to be oblivious to the text and the social chatter that goes on during the day. So I actually found out that night as we were prepping for the show. And it came as a complete and total shock to me. I was hurt because Kobe was one of those players that I hated early in his career because of his attitude and his arrogance and his supposed inability to sort of learn from others, namely his coach. Like, I still believe that if he had passed the basketball more during that championship where he played with Shaq, then they would have done a much better job and won. And so I struggled with him early in his career, and then I watched him grow as a basketball player. I watched him work on his skills and improve. And then I watched him really just become just a much better individual as well with his philanthropic work and, with his outreach and with him raising his children. I got to see him really
with
grow
the WNBA, helping the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean, he
basketball.
Really became like just a really good, strong black man that I could respect. And watching, and losing somebody like him, losing one of our black moguls, our black leaders so early really, really hurt me, And we were just getting warmed up in 2020. That was in what, like January?
It was January.
January of 2020 to get hit with that kind of loss in January.
And to know his daughter was with him.
God I was just warming us up, though. It was crazy.
I was a Gianna Bryant fan. And she was like 13 years old playing basketball. And I knew she was going to the WNBA. She already had an offer letter from University of Kentucky. Connecticut, UConn. I'm sorry, UConn.
It was UConn. Yeah,
she already
serious,
had a
though.
scholarship. Like she was going to be like the Kobe Bryant of women's basketball.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, she was vicious.
And it just hurt.
A game break. I like this transition defense they're playing.
Hell yeah,
right
the
now.
Wizards. The Wizards are playing the Brooklyn Nets, and they are looking mighty good. But
They're
see,
looking
we do
sharp
this.
defensively,
We do
though.
this. Oh, yes, they are. We got a couple steals, but we look good. Well, offensively, we look good for 3 quarters. Defensively, we don't really look good. So maybe this is a good trend. This man averaging 19.8 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 12.3 assists, and we are 1-5. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Effective 2020. Well, we're 1-0 in 2021. We're
Hey,
undefeated this year.
so this might be the year for the Wizards as well. So are you done with your wrap up for
Hell no. We on the first topic.
Or 2020?
All we talked about was Kobe.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you did.
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom. I didn't know what you did.
Yeah. You weren't gone that long, nigga. You ain't taking shit. So Trump's impeachment, we ain't even got to talk about that. We know what happened.
Yeah.
Quarantine.
That was a hot mess.
Quarantining. JB lives about 700 steps from me. 700 footsteps. And we didn't see each other for 2 months.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was going on with COVID. We both had pre-existing conditions, I guess.
Yeah.
I have high blood pressure. JB's a diabetic, and we just weren't taking chances. Just like fuck all this shit.
Yeah.
And I went without any real human interaction for months, and it was a weird feeling, and I was afraid to date the girls I knew. I would see them on Instagram at a club. I'm like, oh, don't text me talking about can you come through? Hell no, bitch. Like you on some bullshit. Niggas I know was going out, and I was like, my barber stayed in the streets, so I can't get a haircut because these niggas won't stay out the streets. So it was wild to be quarantined, and it was wild to see how other people really didn't give a fuck about quarantine and were living life as normal, like there was no pandemic. I learned that I love myself. I learned that I can have a shit ton of fun by myself. I learned that I actually prefer my company to company with other people most of the time. I didn't know how much I like being alone. I'm the nigga that always want a game night, always want to hang out, always want to, hey, y'all coming through? Y'all want to watch this? Y'all want to go over here? Y'all want to? And I was like, I actually like being by myself.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
you
here.
want.
Yeah. I actually, because JB, you're more profoundly known for that. I'm more everybody come through, everybody ain't with the girls, and and I found that I can have an amazing time by myself.
Yeah.
Give me a bottle and some lotion. Well, anyway, go ahead, JB. You tell your story.
Yeah, the quarantine was crazy for me because of how it started for me personally. It started actually in my office and with my ex-wife, the mother of my children. And the way it started for me was while we were dealing with that COVID shit, my office was dealing with a seriously bad outbreak of the flu. Somebody came to work sick as fuck. And I mean, like sick as fuck to the point where she was like wrapped up in blankets and shit, shivering and shit. And she sat right next to me. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm taking my vitamin C and my zinc and shit and washing the fuck out of my hands, damn near ready to wear a mask to work. She gets 30% of the office sick. 30% of the office goes down. Right after that shit happens, my ex-wife, who works in clinical research, starts talking to me about the shit that she's hearing from her business partners in China.
Time frame? What's this time frame?
This time frame is late January, early February.
Okay.
Like
before we really knew.
Yeah, like the third week in January is when I started hearing about this shit. And so I'm like, oh shit. All right, well, we'll see what happens. And then it turns out that the government doesn't do shit doesn't do shit about the pandemic, doesn't do shit about travelers coming in through our airline borders. And so then the pandemic hits. All of a sudden, it's this huge outbreak. They're recommending quarantining for everybody. And I had to develop the quarantine plan for my office and submit it to senior management because no work had been done. And my whole team was coming to me like, JB, like,
what you gonna do?
What was like? Are you seeing what's going on? Anyway, the quarantine hits. I can't see anybody. New already broke that down for you. The people that I did try and focus on seeing and being safe with were my children. I had to see them. So I was extra careful. Like New said, he had, that whole thing. So I went and got tested before I saw my kids. Once I got tested, I was able to see my children. That made quarantine much more survivable for me.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, my birthday, me and JB did a versus, because we were doing our own versus battles. We had done Tupac versus Biggie, and T.I. versus Rick Ross, and New Edition, the group versus New Edition, the solo acts. I think we did Rihanna versus Beyonce. We had some classic verses.
We had some serious versus battles.
Hell yeah.
What was the Boyz II Men Jodeci?
Boyz II Men Jodeci?
All
that shit is on YouTube, by the way, you guys.
Michael Jackson versus Prince. Yeah, we had some serious battles.
Michael Jackson versus Prince. Oh, and this is the most legendary podcast set in the history of podcasts. This sofa and these vinyl albums behind us is legendary. Get you a T-shirt with it on it.
It looks so good you can wear it, baby. I'm telling you. Man. I'm telling you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I wore that on New Year's Eve.
looking fly.
Goddamn right.
As we get through 2020, we also had the versus battle we kind of spoke of. Timberland and Swiss Beats did a great job, a great thing, having these artists battle each other or celebrate each other. I loved them all. I had some of them among my favorites. Probably my favorite so far was probably, I really like the Jeezy and Gucci. I really like Brandy Monica. I fucking loved Patty and Gladys.
I was about to say that was my favorite one.
Yeah,
Patty
that took me back
to great.
All the drama, I'm going to say it. That took me back to when I was Little Ricky.
Oh, Lord.
Because those are my mother's two favorite artists, and Dionne Warwick. So to watch that, I mean, that shit brought tears to my eyes to see my mother's favorite artists that I grew up with, as my play aunties and shit. To see them do that and hear all those old songs, it put me back in Mayfair in my mother's living room. It put me back in 7th and Webster Northwest in my mother's living room.
And those divas still sounded good during that.
Yeah.
They were singing live and doing it for real.
Snoop and DMX was a good one.
Yeah, it was. Them niggas knew all each other's songs.
Yeah.
That shit was great.
And we missed out on Bay, Ashanti doing her live with Keisha Cole, her versus with Keisha Cole, because she caught the coronavirus. But that's coming up this Saturday. Mm-hmm. So we will see it by the time you get this 5-6 days. And I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be my favorite one because I want to see what Bay got on. I want to see how Bay looking out there. See them thighs. I hope the thighs are out. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all know I love Ashanti. Y'all know Ashanti loves me back. She wished me happy birthday. She has shouted me out on her live. Y'all know what it is. Don't be dumb. But I hope that we get that. Thank you for Timberland and Swiss for that. And D Nice, JB. Mm-hmm. With his club, quarantine, whatever it was, he was playing the music and everybody tuning in Michelle Obama.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was
it was like an online block party or like an online family reunion, because it was more than just like an online club event or online party, just because the vibe was so positive and friendly, and it was just so much like fellowship. Like the comments were like, "Oh yeah, I see you so and so. I see you so and so. Oh, what's good, my nigga?"
I'm in this section. We pretend to be in clubs and shit.
Yeah. It was really, really fun, and you got hundreds of thousands of people involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
hit a million. Hit a million at one point.
Yeah, it did hit a million. I think it hit a million a couple of times.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
That's just dope. Like a block party for the country, for the world is what
Hell
the
yeah.
world needed.
Hell
And we saw a lot of those in 2020 where black people especially gave the world what they needed in terms of emotional, strength and art that really kind of lifts you up. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of really, really good material out of the black community in 2020 in that realm.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you made that point known, JB. I just got to say one more shout out to Teddy Riley and Babyface, the one that started. Well, actually, Timbaland and Switch started it, and then they made it a thing. And when they got Teddy Riley and Babyface, we was all lit, and then they couldn't get the sound together. I'm like, JB, go over there and help them with the sound. If you do the sound for the kickback, you can do the sound for them. Help them, JB. It was crazy.
That shit became like a meme.
Teddy, it was so bad. And Babyface was so cold-blooded. Like, do you have your little stuff together yet? Oh, no, you don't? Okay, well. I'm not gonna stay here much longer. I just oh shit. Babyface is a G. Oh man.
I got other shit to do.
And Babyface had COVID. This whole family had COVID.
Yeah.
And they all survived. God bless them.
Yeah, man.
More darkness. Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. He's denying it, but it looks like everything I see looks like it was him. And that was just weird.
It looked like some Bama shit, too.
It did. Like, niggas, you gotta relax.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas gotta relax for real. Like, protect black women. I don't know a nice way to say anything about this situation.
There is nothing
It's just
nice
like,
to say
you bitch-ass nigga. Like, what the fuck? You shot a woman? If you put your hands on her, I would be mad. But you shot her? Like, what the... All right, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah,
he did the most, and that shit just needs to stop. Point blank. Period. It's no other way to put it. New, just that simple.
Shout out to Meg. Glad you back doing your thing.
No doubt.
And Tori, I don't know, figure some shit out, my nigga.
Yeah.
Georgia made I'll come to this last. Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
We got to the point where we weren't even seeing each other, so we had to do the podcast via Zoom. The world was meeting via Zoom. We just did Kwanzaa with my family, with our family, for Zoom, via Zoom. Zoom became. We should have bought some stock in Zoom, JB.
My G, Zoom, GoToMeeting, Netflix,
StreamYard,
YouTube, all of those motherfuckers. Did extremely well financially in 2020 because that was the way that the world literally communed and communicated and entertained itself. I can't count for you how many regular shows I watched that were now doing virtual broadcasts, like Not in the Studio, Bill Maher, Stephen Colbert, Trevor Noah, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers.
I watched the book of those myself.
I did too. And so, this we got used to seeing like our news outlets and our media outlets promoted and broadcasted virtually. We got used to working virtually, going to virtual meetings, family gatherings. My son's 11th birthday, we had 30 people show up. You and the rest of the 5 were some of them all show up on a Zoom call.
Yeah, even our favorite podcast, Joe Budden podcast. And all the others, and us, the kickback, we were virtual.
Yeah, zooming it away, man. Zooming it away. We had to do what we had to do. We made it work,
And then we started bringing in guests because since we were virtual, we could bring in guests in DC, guests, in London. We didn't have anybody in London, but we could have brought somebody from London. We had the ability to. And see how the Wizards blowing the lead right now. Yeah. I just want to bring that up. 10-1 run. Just want to shout that out. But regardless of all of that, we kept the podcast going through the pandemic. We took the last 2 weeks off. I know you guys missed us to end the year solidly, to tie up some loose ends in other areas of our lives, give ourselves a break to recharge for the new year. But we gave you an episode, at least one episode every week until the last 2 weeks of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take the bonus episodes we gave you, it's 52 weeks in a year. We gave you, I think, 54 episodes.
Yeah, we gave you 54 unique, brand new episodes, but if you count the mini episodes and the versus battles, I think we're creeping up to somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 this year. In terms of broadcast, episode level material, because them versus battles, some of them were 2.5 hours long.
No bullshit.
We gave y'all some really, really solid material, and that's the win that a pod named Kickback takes from 2020. Not only did we survive, we thrived and we grew and we flourished,
Yeah, and while we're talking about us, we also started a merchandise line, a clothing line, stepped our Patreon up. Like the t-shirt JB has on, it's a pod named Kickback. That's our merch. Mm-hmm. Our clothing line, NFS, this is I Survived 2020, the shirt that I'm wearing. Like, we did things. We didn't sit still. We gave you episodes. We gave you merch. We put our work in, and a lot of other podcasters did it too. But I'm gonna tell you, nobody was as consistent as us, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. At any given moment, we in the top 200 entertainment news podcasts of all time. I don't mean we had a good week. I mean all-time numbers from the history of the beginning of podcasting up until now. We're consistently in the top 200, more than that in the top 100, and we've crept up to number 13. Like, it's not a game, and we owe that to y'all kickbackers.
Yeah.
Like I want to talk our shit a little bit. I don't want to get too cocky, but I just want to say, like, our numbers.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It just
cut you off.
It just speaks for itself,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we're delivering good content, and I think that's why we're in this position, JB.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna offer you guys. We're not really gonna change up our format, as it were, new, but we're gonna offer you different realms and ways and means of consuming this format. We're gonna give you a lot more flavor, a lot more herbs and spices in this original recipe.
Absolutely. Oh shit, JB, KFC. We the KFC podcast. Wait a minute. But I do want to wrap up 2020, but I want to just shout out a couple things.
Yeah.
We talked about dating during the pandemic. How crazy that was. Like, I ain't gonna tell y'all my business, but some unique things have happened with me in this dating during a pandemic. Mind your business. The Proud Boys, Trump getting out of office, losing the election in 2020, and getting Biden and a black woman that went to my alma mater, HU, in the White House. The Proud Boys, yeah, fuck them. George Floyd, we talked about that. Not to say we talked about that, like to dismiss it, but just to say that we've addressed it, and we want to move on to the rest of the show. Rest in peace, Ahmaud Arbery, and everybody else we lost to police violence this year.
We are not giving up on that movement, but it's...
Hell no. We fighting. Black Lives Matter.
No doubt.
Fuck you mean.
No doubt.
The NBA bubble. They nailed it with the bubble, JB.
Yeah, they did.
They nailed it. We got to see a championship. LeBron won his 4th ring. We'll get to that in sports.
Yeah.
But the bubble was a big deal.
It was.
It was the most successful sports. The NFL has had people on leave with COVID, which fucked up some of our fantasy football shit. We love you and we care about you, NFL players, but on a selfish surface level, it fucked up our fantasy leagues. But we're glad you guys are okay.
It goddamn sure did. Well, shout out to the NBA for
I didn't want to be insensitive.
Right? I mean, that's real though, because you're talking about executive management, which always needs to be evaluated. The job is what it is,
Toilet paper. Why were y'all buying up all the toilet paper? Jesus, that was the funniest thing in 2020. It was like the cure was in the toilet paper. Oh shit, I need to get some toilet paper, and buying up the Lysol. But I ain't worried about it. I got so many cans of Lysol. It'll last me the rest of the year at least. I did go get some. Fuck you, me. You need some? I got you. We good.
I do need some. I'm out.
What else? The Pharmacy for Life we talked about. Shout out to them. And the losses. Just once again, rest in peace to my Aunt Rhoda. Prayers up for my Aunt Sheila that's in the hospital, in recovery right now. and has been recovering for 6-7 months in the hospital and in a recovering facility. If you didn't know, if nobody told you, it's real.
Yeah.
I'm going through it. My family going through it. I know it's fucking real. I don't want to hear that dumb shit. It's a pandemic. Okay, they planned it. So what? It's still happening.
Yeah.
You got your elderberry, you got your zinc, you got your sea moss. Are you exercising? Are you eating vegetables? Are you wearing your mask? That's what I care about, JB.
You sound stupid to me when you start talking about how the virus was manufactured and this, that, and the third, because those are things to be discussed after we're not losing the equivalent of a 9/11 every motherfucking day in the United States in terms of COVID deaths right now. Think about how what 9/11 did to the country. We lost 2,442 lives in 9/11. We are losing over 3,000 a day.
A day.
Right now. A day. Right now. So when you're talking about conspiracy, I'm like, you need to shut the fuck up. And most importantly, you need to put a motherfucking mask on. Like, I'm not really interested in what you got to say unless you got a mask on right now, my G.
And it needs to be above your nose. People
Thank
are wearing
you.
masks
Young.
over their mouth.
Young.
And it's freaking me out.
Young, what the fuck is that, Joe?
I don't know. I
is
don't
that?
know.
So you be putting condoms like halfway on and shit,
just on your balls. You just put on your balls.
like what is this? What is this?
I don't know what the fuck they're doing, JB.
It's and so we gotta
making me feel like the grumpy old man that always saying something. I'm like, I don't know. Fuck, I ain't knowing.
Nah, I mean that's that Bama shit, and we really gotta cut that out because it's getting worse everywhere. There's a more virulent version of the virus that not more virulent, but more contagious version of the virus that is out there that will infect people more quickly, they say now. So you have to be extra, extra, extra careful because it's a lot of motherfuckers out there just not wearing masks at all. They finally admitted that grocery stores are an extremely, extremely high risk factor now. They just said that shit on the nightly news maybe 3 days ago, and they're saying now finally stay the fuck out of grocery stores, number one, and number two, they need to vaccinate grocery store workers because they're getting infected at an extremely high rate. But that's because you dumb motherfuckers are going to the store to buy cigarettes and not wearing your mask. Like, people are going, they're going to the grocery store like it's regular. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that shit. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox.
And when they have the thing on the floor to say go that way, this aisle, and that way, this aisle, you go the right way on the aisle. Damn it. And I'm off my soapbox, niggas.
Yeah, that's real.
So we're going to leave 2020 behind us because it is now 2021. You understand me? So our what the fuck story of the week. JB started a company that will pay you $3,000 if you're a couple to have sex over the course of 8 weeks. They want you to test out 8 different beds and let them know what bed you prefer. And if you tell them, and once you tell them the bed that you prefer, you get that bed for free along with the $3,000. When I read this, I immediately thought, why am I not in a relationship right now? That was my first thought. My second thought was, $3,000 and a mattress? And these mattresses aren't the cheap ones. I've owned a $1,000 mattress, and I ain't never been rich. So I know that, quality mattresses are upwards of $1,000. Yeah. So you got $3,000 in your pocket and probably a $3,000 mattress, and you get to have intentional sex.
I need to get me a COVID buddy and start up this marketing service.
Yeah, I had a COVID buddy. It has not worked out. I think I'm going to get a girlfriend.
If you look good and you got a negative test, man, hit me up, man.
For the love of JB, ladies, come through.
Let's get this mattress money.
Mattress money. That's funny because niggas always put their money under the mattress. Here, mattress money. I gotta see what's going on. I might wind up in a relationship this year. We gonna see how this year play out.
Hey man, not a bad thing.
Play out.
Not a bad thing.
She on my bad side today, JB. And if you listening, you know you're not on the right side. just so you know. But anyway, moving on. That's kind of crazy though. In real life, like for real, would you do it?
Absolutely.
I would absolutely do it.
No question. I mean, especially if I were in a relationship, fuck yeah. Now, if I were that company, I wouldn't just be handing out $3,000 to couples. Like, I'd be like, okay, you need to be fucking at least 5 times a week in order to make this shit work.
Yeah, but baby, I know you tired, but we got a job to do.
Yeah, we made it. It's in the contract, baby. Right. That's what they need to do. They need to give niggas a break and be like, you need to fuck a minimum. Fuck that 5 times a week. You need to fuck a minimum of 10 times a week.
Hey,
give niggas some help.
Yeah, get some extra nuts out there. That's right.
That's what's up.
Our Don't Be Dumb award, JB, goes to your favorite state, Georgia. What's up with your people, JB? Why they in the clubs? Why they not listening? Why they still running around without no mask? Why they in the grocery stores with no mask? Why are you seeing them? What are they doing?
They're fucking up, and they've been following the lead of this Republican-led state government that's just been like, hey, it's whatever. And I'll keep it 100 with you. This is how whatever it is. So one day I woke up in the morning, I had a low-grade fever, and I had a little bit of a sniffle. It was not COVID-19. It was basically like some kind of hay fever or flu or some shit. I called my boss. I was like, yo, I'm not coming in. I'm going to go and get tested before I come back in again. So one day passes, and then the second day I make my appointment. They're like, you can't get tested again until, tomorrow, and then it's going to be a 2-day waiting period. So I'm like, boss, I need to be out of work all week. I'm coming back on Monday after I get this negative test. That's the way to be safe. She's like, no, our company policy is that if you have COVID-like symptoms, you have to have a diagnosis of COVID within 3 days in order to stay away from work. And I was like, how exactly am I going to have a diagnosis of COVID within 3 days of showing symptoms when it takes 2 days to get the test back?
Wow. and they definitely didn't have no fucking COVID procedure. What the hell?
Yeah, and so I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm getting my test. I got to go back to work or else I'm going to get fired. But I got my test first. Thank God my test came back negative. Yeah. My symptoms were eliminated. But that's just an indicator of how fucked up shit is in Georgia. It's institutionally fucked up. It's not just weird-ass, crazy-ass people out here. It's literally the businesses and institutions that are also fucked up. Letting people come into little small-ass restaurants with no mask on and shit. Let motherfuckers eat inside with no mask on so the staff and shit, are at risk. It's all kinds of bullshit going on out there in Georgia, and that's why it's fucked up in Georgia, and that's why they deserve this award.
Georgia, don't be dumb. No, stay your asses in a fucking house.
No doubt.
Like, this shit is just dumb.
It's bad.
Like, I mean, I know there was a New Year's party that we went to last year, and they did their invites for it this year, and they had 90 people. And I told them all, I love you, hope you have a great time, but ain't no way in fucking hell I'm going to see you. Y'all motherfuckers pass crabs around like it was nothing. I don't know what you're going to do with fucking COVID. So I'm out. I don't want to see you. I don't want to be here. And I hate to say this, but I'm kind of like, 14 days later, January 15th, I want to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying, with these motherfuckers, these 90 motherfuckers that chose to party together.
Well, I mean, you saw what happened 15 days after Thanksgiving, and you're going to see it again right after Christmas, and you're going to see it again probably, like you said, on January 15th. We're seeing these successive spikes in COVID rates. And, you know, everyone was like, Georgia's good. Georgia's rah, 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 rah. And I was like, no, Georgia is not good. Georgia is blessed to have a wide open, like a less densely populated urban center than other places like New York and Chicago do, and DC, frankly. So Georgia is blessed with our space. That's not gonna do it though. That's not enough. You know what I'm saying, nigga?
No.
Yeah.
It's just wild. So that comes from you drinking that shit. So our Nipsey Hussle Award goes to a few people, one being Becky Hammond. Becky Hammond is the assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs under Greg Popovich, a woman, former WNBA player, who Greg Popovich was strategically, coincidentally, tossed during a nationally televised game in the first quarter against the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers because he got mad at a ref. So essentially, Becky Hammond coached the entire game on national television. Does anybody think that Greg Popovich did that on accident? No. He wanted to showcase this woman coach and give her the opportunity to coach on national television on the biggest stage against the biggest team in the world.
You talking about Pop.
Yeah. So shout out to Pop. He gets the Nipsey
doubt.
Hussle Award for doing that. But Becky Hammond gets the Nipsey Hussle Award as well for being a great coach and for breaking barriers in the NBA as a woman. And we salute you. And I think as we saw earlier, I forget who said it, but she doesn't have to be the first female head coach, but she should, in the NBA, she should definitely be one of them. Girl power, I'm rocking with you.
Yeah. She's not the only qualified assistant coach in the NBA right now, so she doesn't have to be the first. But all of them deserve their shot. She got hers. I hope to see more of it. She did well. She looked cool, calm, and collected, comfortable in the leadership role, and so my hope is that, you know, she's able to stay on and work through that apprenticeship with Popovich so she can get his knowledge, his expert team management, and become a brilliant head coach. You know, what better tutor, what better mentor could she have? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And shout out to Christy Tolliver, African-American player in the WNBA, who sits with playing for the Washington Mystics, world champion Washington Mystics, and she's an assistant coach with the Washington Wizards. So we have a black woman as well. So I salute Becky Hammond, and I don't take anything from her, and I won't. I am just a bigger fan of Christy Tolliver, but I'm a fan of both of these ladies. I want them both to be given the opportunity. Christy Tolliver still plays in the WNBA, so she's younger. So she's getting this experience as a female assistant head coach in the NBA, the male league, at a very young age. And when she retires, I think she'll position herself to be a head coach within, 5-10 years maybe, realistically, in my opinion. I love it, man. I love it. Women, I hate to say it, like women, I'm not going to say female, but ladies, I'm with you. I'm rocking with you. We rocking with you.
Yeah, man.
Do your thing.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Your boy JB's old drug dealing buddy Master P, and then his basketball buddy Baron Davis. JB, tell them what Master P and Baron Davis got going on.
This is an awesome story because this is another example of our hip hop moguls, really making a power move. They are in the majority leadership of a group that is buying out the Adidas company
Reebok
it's Reebok
from
from the Adidas company.
Yep.
Sorry, it's Reebok from the Adidas company. Now, the Reebok line, as we know, is a multi-billion-dollar shoe and clothing line. So, them taking this chunk from Adidas could mean big things for them in terms of revenue, but it also could mean another hip-hop revival for Reebok, depending on what they do. You know what I'm saying? And Reebok used to be all over hip-hop back in the day.
Very diverse. They had Allen Iverson, The Answer. They had Jay-Z's Sean Carter, S. Carter. They had G Unit's tennis shoe. They're no strangers to hip-hop. Reebok is hip-hop. I'm not a Reebok fan, to be honest. I will be, though.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful power move. They were able to, negotiate this multi-billion-dollar buyout, and I know this is going to do big things for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing that new. No question.
Yeah, and Master P being involved in this deal is very specific. Reebok to New Orleans is New Balance to DC. So that's me and you buying New Balance. You already know what that means for the city.
Yeah, that's huge. That's
so
huge. No
definitely
question.
You guys deserve the Nipsey Hussle Award.
No doubt.
And finally, JB, I'm gonna toss it to you again because you are the gangster geek and this is your thing. Tell them about Nintendo and all the beautiful things they're doing.
Nintendo has offered up a donation program whereby they are donating Nintendo Switches to children they're basically donating Nintendo Switches to hospitals for children to be able to utilize for them to keep themselves entertained during their hospital stays because of COVID or whatever. But because there's so many more children being stuck in the hospital now with COVID, they are ramping up and improving this donation routine where they are providing Nintendo Switches. Now, Nintendo Switches are small. Nintendo Switches are really, really easy and intuitive for kids to use. The other thing that Nintendo Switches also offer is really, really easy online play. And they're, kid-friendly games, so you ain't got to worry about them, blowing shit up or having sex or any fucked up shit like that, or like Grand Theft Auto or some of these other weird ass games. It's more of a kids oriented game.
Don't call them weird, JB.
But for
good
children,
games.
but
For children, yes.
That's
children,
what I'm
yes.
saying. Like, you got children out there playing like what Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto.
I like
and
Grand
shit.
Theft Auto. Well, I'm full of shit.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
for like
really
your
like
9-year-old kid,
Hell
though,
no.
that's
but
exactly
I don't even
my
play
point.
it. But all the freaky shit niggas be doing on Grand Theft Auto, I've never done. I'm like, oh, so y'all be fucking the strippers, the prostitutes. So I have Grand Theft Auto. I'm gonna play it and I'll report back after I fuck a girl on it.
Yeah,
But
and
keep
so
going, JB.
and so shout out to Nintendo for providing this donation. It's going to be a huge benefit to kids because it'll keep their spirits uplifted. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. When you're stuck in a hospital, the biggest thing you got to fight in terms of getting better is the boredom, because
Hell
you really
yeah.
need to sit there and just fucking rest and get better. But you get bored and you start doing dumb shit. I mean, and then especially when you're a kid, so being able to rest and relax and keep yourself occupied, keep your mind occupied, is going to be a huge help for these children. Shout out for Nintendo for making that happen. I'm a Nintendo fan. I've always bought Nintendo products for my kids because they're so intuitive, and they are systems that the kids and the adults can join together, and they're more kids oriented, so you don't have to worry about the Grand Theft Auto type shit.
Yeah,
So it's a
I
good
still
look.
got my old ass Wii. So
No doubt.
shout out to Nintendo.
No doubt.
And Mike Tyson Punch Out. Shout out to Aunt Joyce for buying me that when I was a little kid. Our Netflix and Shield segment. I gotta start with Ghost Power Book 2. I watched episode 1 and then was like, I don't think I want to watch this shit. And then last night, I knew the final episode was coming out tonight. So we'll be recording on Sunday. It comes out on Monday, Schmonday. So I decided to start binging yesterday so that I could be prepared for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good. I gotta admit, I was pleasantly surprised. I was happy I binged it because I got to watch episode after episode after episode. I was drinking and smoking and having fun, and so I am glad it went that way. But it was good. I want to give you guys a week before I spoil the whole show, because as of Monday morning when this is out, you may not have seen the finale, but the story takes place, a few hours after James St. Patrick Ghost was killed.
Right.
And it's about what Tariq has to go through. Natasha says she killed him because she doesn't want Tariq to go to jail. Tariq is his son, and he killed Ghost. And Tariq, my middle name is Tariq. And Tariq has ruined my middle name with his bullshit, fuck shit, dumb young nigga, dumb shit. I don't even want my middle name to be Tariq no more. Until this season. Tariq earned the right to have my middle name be his first name.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Really?
In two ways. One, I didn't think he was a good enough actor to pull off his own show. I saw him getting better, but he can't do a whole show.
Right.
He did a whole show.
Okay.
One, very impressed because I watched him get better.
That's awesome.
Like, I watched him as a weak-ass actor.
Right.
Give that nigga one line and hope he don't fuck it up, to being a decent actor, I guess, to being a serious actor.
He could carry a show.
He carried it.
That's what's up.
Mary J. Blige was in it.
Okay, yeah, I do remember
She
that. Yeah.
nailed her shit.
Really?
Method Man was in it. He nailed his shit. There was some cute little chicks in there, but I'm not sure their ages, so I ain't gonna say nothing else. Cause I'm trying to 30 and up. This is my 2021 goal, JB. I'm tired of these 20. I'm not no more 20-year-olds. But moving on, back to the show.
This guy,
back to the show.
This guy looking at the Tariq's little high school homegirls and shit.
I'm like,
I see
21?
I see you, nigga. Creepy ass old man. Like, I know that woman playing a high schooler isn't a high schooler, so I'm gonna look at her anyway.
Yeah, they be getting naked and shit. I'm like, I'm short. I
mean, we did some wild shit in high school, and it ain't high schoolers on the shows doing it.
Hey, we was fucking in high school.
Yeah, it job
clear.
is what it is.
Be clear.
Yeah.
I was giving a lot of daughters a lot of ate of them things.
Oh Lord.
Moving on. Back to the show. Back to the show. So it was an excellent season. I think it was well written. It had the dude to play Bobby Brown. He played a role as like an enforcer to one of the families in Mary J. Blige's family. He was dope in the jump. Some really cute, attractive, talented women that may or may not be legal, so I don't want to go too far. But there were some good actors, and it was actually a good storyline. Like, real nigga shit, I'm happy about all these spinoffs.
I'm glad they're working out.
At first I was like, yeah. And this, at the end of it, Mona says, wait till you see season 2. So we're all thinking there are 5 power spinoffs, and I'm thinking they get 1 season apiece. This motherfucker said, wait till season 2.
Hey.
So these are 5 different shows that may have 5-year runs of their own.
Yeah, we might have it's not a might. We do. We have a power cinematic universe right now.
Absolutely.
That's literally what that is. And if they're able to keep those shows running multiple seasons concurrently, that's like some DC Comics type shit. That's bank right there. You talking hundreds of millions of dollars right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. They all gonna be rich as fuck.
And we're going to take a deep dive into the season next week. I mean, the episode comes out in like a couple hours if you're watching on regular cable. And this is Sunday night we record. Remember that. Sundays at 6.
Right.
So I don't want to ruin it. So we'll talk about it next week in detail. And we'll ruin it for you. But moving on. Coming to America, JB, watching the trailer. What were your thoughts?
My thoughts on Coming to America were there's a lot of what we call fan service in that, bringing back the classic jokes from the original one to engage those cats, frankly, our age who remember the old Coming to America. But they've got some new, fresh elements in it, a few new, fresh elements in it, a few new, fresh actors in it, a few new, fresh roles. I think it's going to be one of those, family, like really, really good times, like just a show. Don't be
y'all's good time.
well, yeah, don't go into it expecting some riveting plot that's going to alter the way you think about the world. Expect quality entertainment. Expect a good fucking laugh. Watch it from 30,000 feet. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy. See, look, he trying to get us demonetized. And shit.
I'm just saying. Smoke a clove.
Well, yeah, smoke a clove. Wink, wink. Have a drink or two and
Of
watch
water.
it. And you'll have a wonderful time because the preview looked excellent. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Hell yeah. I was intrigued by it. The whole premise of he has a son. I don't know where they're going with that. I don't know if it was with the woman he married in the movie.
Yeah.
And she had a son and they just lived in North America. She had a son and didn't tell him. When they were there, did he fuck some random chick? You know what I'm saying? Did he fuck the sister, get her pregnant before they got married? I don't know why he has a son in America.
That's what I didn't understand either.
So this is gonna be some interesting shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. That's
Interesting
for sure.
shit.
That's for sure.
So check that out. Something else you guys should check out is Cobra Kai. I am midway through season 2, and season 3 was released on New Year's. It is a spinoff of the Karate Kid movie, as executive produced by the Pinkett's. The Smiths. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes.
Season 1 was great. It brought back all the old memories. Well, Karate Kid is one of my favorite movies of all time. So when they rebooted it, I was like, oh, this should be cool. And it was cooler than I thought because they do so much what I call like nostalgia scenes where it takes you back to 1987 or 1990 or whatever year, and puts you in that moment or reminds you of those moments. And I loved it. And this is not a spoiler alert because this is midway season 2. Out of all the Cobra Kai guys, I hated Johnny like everybody else.
Yeah.
But I really fuck with Bobby because when Bobby hurt Daniel in the tournament, he apologized and he was like, "Oh shit, Daniel, they made me do it. Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, he got character. And they brought him back for a special episode with all the old Cobra Kai guys. And it just was like to see them as grown ass men in their 40s, our age, and like I was like, wow, they got all the niggas back. That's crazy. And that's midway season 2. And I hear the way season 2 ended was crazier. Don't ruin it for me, JB.
I won't.
And I hear that season 3 is that work. So I'm gonna finish season 2. I had to stop to watch Power. And then I'm gonna do season 3. And I'm just happy this exists. This is not anything other than me reflecting back to my childhood and being happy. And I'm happy.
Well, you and about 50 million other Americans are also really, really happy that the show is back. I believe the original Karate Kid came out in 1984.
Wow.
Starring Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, and I forgot the young blonde dude's name.
Johnny, his real name.
Yeah, I don't know what his real name is.
Johnny.
But at any rate, the series comes back 30-some years later, which is where we are now.
Yep.
They're two grown-ass men. Daniel LaRusso is successful as shit. Johnny Lawrence is not, and it's actually more of Johnny Lawrence's story than it is Daniel LaRusso's story starting out, and then we pick up more on their character development now that they have gotten older as the series progresses. Would you say that's a good synopsis?
Yeah, it's called Cobra Kai. It's not called Daniel LaRusso.
Exactly.
So absolutely, JB, you know that.
And so it's a really interesting look. They delve into a lot of existing teenage issues. So if you've got a kid,
internet, etc.
Bullying and all of that, right? And so if you've got a kid, it's actually a good show to watch with your kids. It doesn't get too crazy and adult, but it's a really, really good show to watch with your kids about that critical moment in puberty, and not only what it means to the children, but also to the parents dealing with that shit at the same damn time. So I really like the show for those reasons as well.
And that second puberty us adults go through.
Yeah,
that's on display as well.
Yeah, that's real.
Death to 2020. We was at Millhouse having a cheese. No,
it was a wine
tasting.
Indeed.
With charcuterie.
Yes.
Another word I never use.
Charcuterie is a wonderful word.
It's the bread, the cheese, the meats, the wine. Well, I guess the wine isn't part of it, or is it?
No, I mean, you wouldn't consider the wine a part of a charcuterie plate. The charcuterie is more like the platter with the meats and the cheeses and little veggies,
crackers, and veggies. So we had the charcuterie, and we had 8 different wines.
I thought it was more like 10.
Okay,
10
different wines.
It was 10. Yeah.
And we did it via Zoom, and it was dope, man. Like, I've only done something like that once with JB. So to do it again, like some culture shit, and y'all should do some of this shit. A wine tasting, you would get a few bottles of wine, a few different cheeses, a few different crackers, and a few different breads. To my, my novice level understanding. And then you would do tastings to see what tastes better together. And I'm assuming you can Google, if I get a red wine, I should get blue. Don't do what I'm saying. I'm just giving you an example. I should get the blue cheese, and I should get, rich crackers. It's not going to be those things. I'm giving you examples because I can't think of shit else. But JB, can you give us one legit example of a good wine, a good cheese, and either a bread or cracker that goes with it? Just one example so that they can get a real example.
Absolutely, and I'll give an example for non-pork eaters because charcuterie platters tend to be heavy on salamis, some prosciuttos, and prosciuttos, which would steer people who eat pork away from that. But one of the things I was telling New is that I actually really like doing charcuterie platters without any pork at all because you can get a really nice would be a really good one to have with women, especially if you get a really, really nice Riesling. Now, Riesling is a German wine that's a little bit of a sweet wine, but it's got really, really nice floral notes. If you do that with a nice savory cheese to kind of counterbalance it a little bit.
What would you consider a savory cheese?
Well, you could go with a really nice aged white cheddar or a really nice aged white sharp cheddar. I would go with a lighter cheddar because it's a lighter wine.
What is a lighter cheddar?
Meaning like not a deep orange cheddar, not like because there are white cheddars and then there are orange cheddars. I mean, they come in 2 colors basically.
Because I'm gonna do this exact thing.
Let me finish.
For my weekend. So
let me
you
finish.
said a Riesling, which I've tasted. Riesling is really sweet.
Yeah, I mean, depending on, you can get ones that are less sweet. I'd prefer the less sweet ones.
Well, which ones? Do you know which ones are less sweet off hand?
Hugo has a really, really nice Riesling.
So I'm gonna get a Hugo Riesling.
And then
with a white cheddar.
Yeah, like a nice aged white cheddar.
Aged white cheddar. So Riesling, aged white cheddar, and
then you can go with some of the smoked trout.
Smoked trout.
Yeah,
that shit was good. That shit was fire. I ain't gonna lie. The smoked trout was fucking fire.
Yeah. And so what you always want to do is,
what kind of bread or cracker do you do?
I mean, for me, I personally don't like crackers as much as I like just breads. So I would buy a baguette, and you can buy a baguette and you can make your own toast points. You just slice it thin and put them in the
literally,
oven.
I go to the grocery store and to the bread section and look for baguette.
Yeah, it's a French roll. So it's the French baguette. like the long skinny junk, like looks like a sub sandwich type shit, the long junk. That's a French baguette. You get you one of those, you slice it into little pieces, you take those little circlets, you put them in the oven on low temperature, 300 degrees, for about 12 and a half minutes, and you make little toast points. So they're crispy on the outside, but they've got still a little breadiness on the inside. And that just gives you the option to make like little sandwiches if you want, or to do whatever.
I'm doing this.
And then you can kick it up a notch if you get like a nice honey or a nice sweet relish or a spread to go beside that. So you can do
You
like
say or a spread.
like a
What do you mean by
spread,
spread?
like a spread, like a nice mango chutney, or like a nice you could even do like a nice bitter orange marmalade or something to give it a little sweetness. Again, it's about kind of creating a collage of flavors to go with the wine. You mostly want to complement the wine by giving it a little contrast, but you don't want to go too heavy, which is why I'm going with savory things that are relatively light. You know, fish instead of salami or steak or chicken or something crazy like that. You know, aged white.
Riesling is red.
No,
No.
they are not.
Okay.
They are white.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
why
I'm
we're
following
doing
you,
all
I'm
of the
following
light
you.
colors.
Right. I was following you. I'm trying to learn the science, and I was like, for some reason, I thought Riesling was a red. Riesling is a white. Bet. Okay, now that means that I do understand the concept behind it.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
and Aaron, you know, shout out to Aaron, the guy who put the tasting together that we attended. He said it perfectly: light with light, dark with dark. You know, light with white, heavy with dark. Heavy with red is the way to go. Absolutely.
I got to see if she likes white or red wine. So I might hit you up like, she like red. We got to come up with a new platform.
Yeah, red is like my bread and butter. Red is, I do better with red than white because I prefer red.
I think I prefer red. Okay.
You probably
do.
do.
Timestamp this. So what's the red? Well, give me a red recommendation. And
Okay.
We can rewind back and have a whole wine segment. So,
Yeah, no
but
doubt.
now we're doing red.
Okay,
school me.
so red wine. I prefer. For a wine tasting with red wines, I want to go with two different balances. So with red wine, I would never do just one wine because of people's preferences. So I would go with something a little sweeter or a little mellower, like a Petite Syrah or a Syrah, or a Beaujolais, which is another really, really nice wine. I'm surprised he didn't have a Beaujolais in his bag.
And a Pinot Noir is...
A Pinot Noir is on the level of like a Petite Syrah or a Beaujolais. It's a lighter red wine rather than a heavier red wine.
I know I knew about some wines, did you? You didn't think I knew. JB ain't the only one to know, nigga. All right, continue.
So I would go with a Beaujolais or Petite Syrah because personally those are two of my favorites.
Okay.
And then for the darker wine, I would also go with a darker selection. And for that, I would go with a Bordeaux or a Cabernet Sauvignon because those are deep, rich wines. And so with the Petite Syrah or the Beaujolais, I would again go with lighter fare, but a little less light. Now you can go with some of those heavier cheeses. I actually like my Beaujolais with actually blue cheese. Now I know you're not a big pork eater, so obviously you're not going to do the pork, but here would be an opportunity to do salami. But you could also do like a really, really nice carpaccio, or you could even do almost like a hot selection, like a seared selection to go with that Petite Syrah. So you could actually take some really, really thin, some like a beef tenderloin or something, slice it up really, really thin, like thin little carpaccio slices. I know you're not into the raw meat thing. I would actually season that and eat it as it is because I would buy high quality beef. But the other thing you can do is just quickly sear it. 20 seconds on each side in a pan with some butter. And then you have a really, really nice complement to go with that. Petit Syrah, that Pinot Noir, right? The other thing you can do is you can sear up some chicken breasts and cut that into thin slices because, again, the protein is a complement to everything else. So, think outside of a plate, and so you can do that. And then for cheeses, like I said, you can go with a nice blue. Now it's time to get into some of those oranger, cheddar cheeses if you want.
Yeah.
You can go with like a nice dark aged sharp cheddar in that case if you want. You can also get a little deeper and go with like a smoked Gouda or a Gruyere cheese. You take that, and then what you want to do is you want to add to that a little more savory. So you want to get yourself like a nice savory kind of sauce or dressing to go with it, like some nice spicy mustard or like that truffle salt, that truffle salt that we had.
Oh, I'm getting truffle salt. That's gonna be part of our life from now on.
One of the other things that's actually really, really delicious is if you take some horseradish dressing, especially if you're going to do the beef, and then you sprinkle some chives or some thyme or some parsley in that horseradish and mix it up to give it a little more kick, a little more extra flavor. That's also really, really nice with the red. Now for that Bordeaux, that's my dinner wine. That's steak all the way. That's steak and mashed potatoes all the way. So another thing I like to really do when I'm doing a meat plate or a charcuterie plate is
when I do my foil wrap, I need a Bordeaux.
A Bordeaux or a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Potatoes. Okay.
Yeah, the Bordeaux or the Cabernet Sauvignon with that would be extremely, extremely solid. Extremely solid. So there you go. There's a little bit of that wine tasting and what we did. I mean, and all of the things I said, Aaron literally said on that day. I'm not, countermanding anything he said, but this is just good, wine advice, liquor advice, honestly.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the white wine with the fish as day one. And they have a dinner a little later if it's needed. I think I'm gonna do the foil wrap with the beef and the asparagus and potatoes with the with Cabernet. Yeah, or the Bordeaux. Yeah. I'll do that another day.
Yeah, I mean, and if I may
offer, we should. Well, no. Whatever game night we have, should we have the charcuterie?
I don't think we're gonna ever have a game night ever again without a charcuterie.
I'm gonna say the charcuterie for the game night, cause that should be our game night. Boom! I figured it out. Mind your fucking business, JB. We'll talk. You mind your business.
I strongly recommend that you practice like on yourself. Like you can go to the gas station and get a couple of these wines for cheap and just practice. You don't have to buy these.
Mike.
Oh, sorry. I'm gesticulating all over the place. Thank you. But you can practice. You can buy like one thing of cheese. Like you can do a charcuterie platter for like $10 and it could be dinner that night.
Yeah, and you can't get this information on $1 Million Worth of Game, the Joe Budden Podcast, Horrible Decisions, or motherfucking none of the others. I'm just saying.
We are the Black CNN.
Shout out to all of them. I love y'all, but they ain't doing this.
We're a little different. It is what it is.
It's just different. Book club, different. I'm reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by, I think it's Stephen Covey. What I learned the most is that all of the quotes that I grew up learning and knowing and hearing, they all come from this book. This book is the book. I kept hearing it, and I kept hearing about it, and kept hearing that it was the book. But I was like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. As I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This was the book. Oh, shit. So my advice to you guys is to get The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and read it with me in the month of January. I'm on habit 2, and it's The 7 Habits. So I ain't that far. Get the book, Let's read it together. Let's figure it out. Let's talk about it on Clubhouse. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's simple enough, man. That should be easy enough to do.
Hell yeah, and it's a good book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm learning this shit like, oh, shit. All our quotes, cut twice, measure once. Successful people do what unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. Like, all of the quotes that I grew up spouting, or hearing, they all come from this fucking book. I'm like,
That's
young.
funny. That's funny. That's
This
funny.
dude a beast.
Shit you thought you made up and shit.
Even shit I thought I made up. I was
that's
like,
great.
oh, I didn't make this up. It was in this book 30 years ago. Oh,
right.
shit.
Right.
Music segment, I'll give you guys this really quick. We're going to go into music heavy next year, but we have had a lengthy show, and I know you guys got work to do, so I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. But fuck 2020, I played at the top of the show. Sorry, YouTube, you didn't hear it, but everybody else did. That is my favorite song right now. LeBron James by Jay Stone featuring Nipsey Hussle and Dom Kennedy. We played that. A.I. with the Braves, The Game featuring Lil Wayne. Bread of Life by Stove God Cooks. Backdoor by Little Durk. These are songs you should be listening to. And it's on our playlist, Apart and Kickback on Apple Music. I'm just giving you a couple.
All right, so what are your top three, New? Like, give me like your kicker, your backer, and your kickbacker song.
My kickbacker, well, I'll do backer up to kicker.
Okay.
My backer song is going to be "Speak to Me" by Corin Hawthorne.
Mm-hmm.
It's a relationship song. It's an R&B song, and it just talks about a relationship in a way I want to hear it. In a way a woman is talking to me that I want to hear.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, baby, I got you.
Okay.
So that's my backer. That's my kicker. My backer is "Power" by Kevin Gates featuring Dermot Kennedy, and it's all about the power of pussy. It's about how great pussy can be when it's right, and when you like her, and when you love her, and when she does everything, and you just do everything, and you guys have great sex. And he says, "You got the power on me." So I love that joint. My number one song right now by Kick. So we got the backer, which was "Speak to Me." No, we got the kicker, which is "Speak to Me." The backer, which was "Power." But the kick back song is F2020 by Avenue Beat featuring Jesse Reyes.
No doubt.
Fuck 2020.
No doubt. That's
a
nice
vibe.
groove
2020.
too. Nice groove.
Yeah, man. So that will represent the songs, JB.
I'm with it.
As we get up out of here, who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl? Well, we know my Cowboys won't be because we lost today. And if the Redskins win, they get it. If the Redskins lose, the Giants get that NFC East placement. I don't care anymore. My fucking team lost. But who do you think can make it to the Super Bowl?
I think in the NFC we're looking at either the Packers or although, you know, as you were saying earlier when we were breaking it down, the Saints are doing a little better now than the Bucks are. It's kind of hard to bet against Tom Brady, especially with the Buccaneers playing the way they are. Their defense is stepping up. The
Super Bowl is in Tampa.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against Tom Brady. So that's coming out the NFC. The AFC, you got a couple of interesting ones in there. Buffalo and Pittsburgh have done really, really well this year. So those two teams, in my opinion, are the front runners that have a chance. Not a good one, but they have a chance to beat out the Chiefs for the AFC spot in the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep it a buck with you, though. I think it's going to be the Packers and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I think we're going to see a replay of Super Bowl III. Wow.
Okay. I like the teams you selected. I like I wanted to like the Seahawks, but I can't.
Right.
I like what Aaron Rodgers is doing with the Packers.
MVP.
I like what Tom Brady is doing. Definitely, I think Aaron Rodgers is MVP. I like what Tom Brady's doing with the Bucks. the Saints, I want to sleep on. I don't like Drew Brees' arm strength at this point in his career. But I've learned to understand that the Saints are the real deal until the playoffs.
Very true.
So
Very true.
I'm looking at, I want it to be Tom Brady and the Bucks. I think the Saints and the Packers will have a better opportunity.
I agree.
My pick as well is the
Packers.
Packers, yeah.
Right.
In the AFC, I don't believe in Pittsburgh at all.
Mm-hmm.
They have too many injuries,
Mm-hmm.
too much shit going on. They ain't going to make it. I wouldn't be surprised they lost wild card weekend.
Interesting.
The Bills, I think they're a year or two away. They're good enough, but they're a year or two away.
You think it's your homeboy Josh needs a couple more years to grow with that playoff experience, or you think it's the defense?
Yeah, I think it's experience in general, even with the coaching.
Okay.
I think everybody needs to. I think when the
They need
stakes
that
are at
one
its
loss
highest,
experience in order to.
when the stakes are
I'm
at
with
their
you.
highest, but I picked the Chiefs. My dark horse team in the AFC is the Tennessee Titans.
Interesting.
My dark horse team in the NFC is the Seattle Seahawks. But I honestly see the Packers and the Chiefs like you do.
We'll have to see what happens, dude.
And I have the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, I would too. To be real with you, I would too.
Patrick
Keeping it a buck with
Mahomes
you.
is probably going to go down as the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
He's the only one that's going to beat Tom Brady.
He's got all the tools, and he is a game general, like Tom Brady is. So yeah.
He's black. But no, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Relevant to me.
Yeah, even relevant to us. Hell yeah. The Wizards, JB, our team in DC has had a rough start in the NBA. We're currently beating the Brooklyn Nets by 3 points going into the fourth quarter. We were up by much more. We play very, very well. We have excellent third quarters where we outscore everybody, and then in the fourth quarter we fall apart. Russell Westbrook is averaging a triple-double. Bradley Beal is averaging 32 points a game. We have our full complement of talent for the second straight game. We're undefeated in 2021. We have a lead. 21, and we have a lead in 2021, and we will see how this plays out.
All right, I need to step away again. Break down this game.
All right. So I look at the Wizards as turning a corner, but we've dug ourselves a hole to start this season, and I wonder how much that's going to affect us. Brooklyn has looked phenomenal. Kyrie, KD have looked amazing. They did lose Spencer Dinwiddie, which is a huge loss. I think he was their third best player. Some may argue Karis LeVert. I think you're wrong. Their third best player was Spencer Dinwiddie. And that's a huge loss. So they may have been a favorite to win the chip this year. But maybe they're just a favorite to come out of the East now with Spencer Dinwiddie's injury. But this is a good test for the Wizards. We have lost to teams that I think we're better than. But we're now getting it together. And I want to see what it looks like once we have it together against a good team. We have it together. We're playing a good team. We're up by 1 with 3 seconds left in the third quarter. So we will see how this ends out. The determining factor is how this fourth quarter goes. If this fourth quarter goes to shit, Russell Westbrook, I understand the clock was winding down. I don't want him to shoot ever again. I want him to drive to the basket or pass. Him shooting makes my ass itch.
I told you that nigga couldn't shoot.
Good.
I told you before.
Can't shoot.
Nigga can't shoot. Like he be throwing up masonry, young. Like
Nigga.
bricks,
Skip
like
Bayless called some Russell Westbrook. Nigga. His nickname is Russell Westbrook. But he can rebound, he can pass, he can score. Stop shooting.
He's like
Jesus.
He's like me back when we were kids before I started wearing my glasses playing basketball. I could do everything but shoot. That nigga needs some glasses.
No bullshit.
Because he can't.
Damn.
I'm with you though, New. The Wizards need to get their shit together. What I'm seeing is a lack of coaching, because coaching is where you really see a team's will manifest in the fourth quarter, where they learn how to stomp on the team's neck, where they learn how to, end all hope of a comeback, and they're not really doing that. I do like what I'm seeing today, because I'm seeing transition defense throughout the game. I'm seeing a stick-to-itiveness and a toughness in the third quarter. Saw a really, really nice challenge on a Kyrie Irving shot, at the end of the third quarter. They're playing with a little more of that DC ball
which I wanted Russell to bring. I thought Russell Westbrook would bring that.
Right.
But he's brought it in spurts. But this may be,
it's one game.
We got to see what fourth quarter does.
Because
we do a lot of that in the first three. And then we don't do any of it in the fourth.
That's real.
So we'll see how this game ends. And this is how the podcast ends. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We missed you. It's been a couple weeks. Our greatest month in podcast history was November. And December, of course, we took a couple weeks off. It's January, brand new year, 2021. We're all healthy. We're all here. We made it. We survived 2020, which is available at new-fashion-statement.myshopify.com, which will be in the description. And I want you guys to get you your shirts, get you your partner and kickback shirts, and be fully invested in the movement, because we ain't going nowhere. When everybody else took a day off, JB, what we do? We were
back at it. As always, every goddamn Monday coming
Zoom.
at you. No doubt.
On StreamYard.
No doubt. Shout out to our Patreon patrons. Thank you for your support.
Hell yeah.
Your support literally keeps the lights on. Check us out on YouTube. Don't be afraid of the rabbit hole. We'll take you down a path that you've never been before, but we'll get you there. Shout out to you, New, and man, let's get it, man. It's 2021. You know what I'm saying?
2021. It's all about the money, young.
Hey.
2021. All about the money, young. 2021,
hey.
All about the money, young.
Hey.
So let's get it.
Indeed.
Get your ass up. Go for a jog or a walk. Do some exercise.
We forgot to talk about exercise, nigga.
Exercise.
Yes.
I got out and jogged around the neighborhood. Well, I jogged and I walked. I walked. Oh, I jogged. I don't know what the word is. I went walking.
Hey man, he went walking. I played another round of disc golf today. So expect some more thoughts from the course from me in 2021. Just because I want to show you how easy it is to get outside and to do shit, and the way for me to show you that is for me to fucking show you. So,
Boom.
Little 30-second, 2-minute clip every time I'm out there, just to show you how easy it is. But I'm going to start posting those, because that'll help me keep in the habit.
Yeah, it'll hold you accountable. Because we ain't post today. Did you not do it?
Goddamn right.
So y'all hold us accountable. Hold me
right.
and JB accountable for our working out and shit. But you do it too, and we love you. And we know you went through a lot last year, and we know this year started off the way it did, and we know that it's going to get better for you. And we speaking that over you. I ain't no religious nigga, but I'm speaking it over you. It's going to get better.
Goddamn
You're going to get happier. You're going to get a lot of those things you want. You might not get everything, but you're going to get a lot of those things you want. If you're intentional in purpose, if you're definitive in purpose, if you say this is what I want and then go after it, I don't see a reason you can't get it. Real nigga shit. But you got to say, I want this, I'm going after this, and then you got to do the work. You can't just want something and then it come to you.
No doubt.
Say it. What we talk about today. Put it on the back of an envelope.
Yep.
Write it down. Write it down. One more time. Write it down.
Yeah, the expression.
Don't type it in your phone.
Yeah, the expression goes: say what you seek, then seek what you say. I would say
No. Speak what you seek until you see what you say.
Speak what you seek until you see what you say. I would say write what you seek until you see what you say.
I'll take another level. Write and speak what you seek.
There it is.
Until you see what you say. You hear me? Man, it's a partner and kickback. I'm No Breaks New.
JB Frank, that gangster geek, man.
So we'll see you motherfuckers next week. Hopefully the Senate is turned blue. Vote. Hopefully you guys are in good health, taking your sea moss, your elderberry with zinc, your lime in your water and in your tea, your motherfucking soursop leaf. If you're anemic like me, you're taking iron supplements, you're taking your blood pressure medicine, you're taking your insulin. You're doing everything and you're working out. 30 minutes of cardio plus whatever workout you do. I hear me. 30 minutes of cardio plus whatever workout you do in addition.
Yeah, man.
And then by, March 4th, you should be in a different place. In June 4th, you should be in a much different place. In September 4th, you killing the game.
No doubt.
And then January 4th, 2022, you realize all your dreams. And now you're just living off the interest, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Money, own business, relationship. You do all the work in 2021 so you can live off the interest in 2022. I just made that up.
I love it.
That's pretty good.
Live off the interest. I love it.
I wanted to call this episode Fuck 2020. We might have to call it Live Off the Interest. I'm not sure.
I like Live Off the Interest.
All right. So we thank you, Kickbackers. We love you. Peace. See you in 6 days and 22 hours, bitches.
Day 2021.
Uno, we out.